A powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake has ripped through western Colombia, leaving a trail of collapsed buildings, trapped residents, and a rapidly rising death toll. And dramatic videos from the scene show the terrifying moment the ground began to shake. The earthquake struck on Monday near San Jose del Palmar in Choco, but its impact was felt far beyond the epicenter, with violent shaking reported across much of Colombia and even in neighboring countries. According to the latest Reuters report, at least 111 people have been killed and 87 injured, with rescue teams still searching damaged buildings for survivors. Videos emerging from several Colombian cities capture scenes of panic and destruction. Streets were filled with clouds of dust as parts of buildings crumbled, while terrified residents rushed outside to escape collapsing structures. In Pereira, one of the hardest-hit cities, dozens of people have died and buildings were damaged or brought down. Reuters reports that 42 fatalities were recorded in the wider Risaralda province. In Cali, multiple structures collapsed, with people reportedly trapped inside and additional rescue crews brought in to help. Major damage was also reported in Manizales, Buenaventura, and Quibdó, where officials described injuries and serious structural damage. The shaking was strong enough to send alarms blaring in Bogotá, hundreds of kilometers away from the epicenter. As the scale of the disaster became clearer, Colombia's leadership moved to respond. President Abelardo de la Espriella said he was suspending his scheduled agenda in Bogotá and heading back to the capital to focus entirely on the earthquake response.
Compatriotas, en este momento me dirijo a Bogotá. He ordenado suspender toda la agenda que tenía en la capital de la República para concentrarme en el desastre natural que hoy azota a nuestro sufrido pueblo colombiano. He citado a una reunión de urgencia, un puesto de mando unificado, en las oficinas de la UNGRD en Bogotá. Allí estaré con todo el equipo tomando determinaciones y acciones personalmente. Voy a liderar estas acciones para llevarle soluciones a nuestra gente en el departamento de Chocó, en el eje cafetero y en otras zonas del país que han sido afectadas. No están solos. Colombia tiene un presidente que le duele a su gente y que hará todo lo que esté a su alcance para ayudarles en los momentos más difíciles. Firme por la patria.
People rushed out of buildings as the ground moved beneath them, although authorities in the capital initially reported mainly cracks rather than major structural collapses. Airports were also affected. Flights were suspended at several facilities, while crews inspected buildings and infrastructure for possible damage. And emergency responders have been racing against time, with teams being brought in from other parts of the country to reinforce rescue efforts. The earthquake was also felt outside Colombia, including in Ecuador and Panama, according to AP. Aftershocks have followed the main quake, adding to the fear among residents already dealing with damaged homes and unstable structures. Authorities have warned people to remain alert, although there is no tsunami threat from the earthquake. And the full scale of the disaster may still not be known. Search and rescue teams are continuing to inspect collapsed buildings and reach areas where people may still be trapped. The death toll has already climbed sharply from the initial reports of around 20 victims earlier in the day, and officials are continuing to assess the damage. For Colombia, this is now shaping up as one of its most serious seismic disasters in years. And as emergency crews continue digging through the rubble, families across the affected regions are still waiting for news about their loved ones.